was like, whoa.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is presented by Underdog. If you're new to Underdog, today's the day. Get $75 in bonus entries when you play just $5 with code It Is What It Is. Underdog isn't stopping there. They're giving all new users a gimme pick on Bijan Robinson tonight. Y'all can make picks right now in most states, including Florida, Texas, and California, just to name a few. So make sure y'all support the show, hit that subscribe button, lock in your bonus, and start playing today with code It Is What It Is. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Mace and Cam. And today we are joined with our analyst, Michael Irvin.
Hey, Mike, what's good? Killa, what's going on?
What's good, everybody? How y'all? Mike, what's happening?
Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. We doing well.
Who's we? Who's we?
Oh, literally.
Yeah.
Who's we
It's
today?
always
doing well.
Well, each of us have at least two of us in all of us. That person you show everybody, that person you show nobody. So I say we, because we at least have two, right? Y'all know what I'm saying.
I don't know if you talk about Miami. I don't know if you talk about because the Eagles lost. I don't know what you be up to half the time. So therefore, when you
Right,
say we, it's a legitimate we. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a legitimate question because you're right. You know, my family, my dad used to always say this, family is made by more than just blood. Family can also be made by a common great love. So I do have a cowboy family and a hurricane family. So all of that's we too. So, you know, I can dig what you're saying when you ask the question from that perspective.
I seen Jerry Jones talking about y'all got a shot at this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Hey, yeah. Hey, but Cam, I almost called you. I almost texted you because when I hit you, no, honestly, when we were talking, and you were talking about we're in the same boat, and I said, no, we're not in the same boat. You lost ground because your AFC North teams were playing each other, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. But Philly, I said, if they lose Monday, we lost time, but we didn't lose any ground. We lost runway, but we didn't lose any ground. And we got to, you know what I mean? So yeah, because they lost, and then they lost. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all something. When they lost, I came out. I was talking to somebody, and I said, I'm so damn good at this.
Oh my God.
I'm just good.
Yeah.
No, really, I'm just so good at it, dude. I told y'all even before when we got what Philly was saying, when AJ Brown said, I want to catch passes. It ain't about just winning Super Bowls. And now look at the problem they're going in. AJ Brown has caught more yards than any receiver in the NFL the last 3 games. All came up 0-3. What that tells me is since you're worrying too much about running the offense through him, that you are ruining your offense.
Mike, where's the poncho, man? I came on the show for the poncho. Is the poncho still alive, or where's the poncho right
Poncho
now?
be back, murder. Now that the niggas
Listen,
down
man.
1.5 games, Poncho gonna be back, nigga.
Yeah,
Last show, he
Mike.
could not find the Poncho.
Right. Hey, the poncho went both ways now. It helped the Cowboys win. It put the Eagles in a bad spot. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Hey, Mace, you need a poncho. You need a cheap poncho.
You gonna get my poncho, man?
You need a cheap poncho.
That was crazy,
good
Mike. That was good. But Mike, also before we move forward, I don't have two people in me.
boy.
Pause. But what did you mean by that? That sounds wild.
Well, we all have. Come on, Mace. There are things that you know about you that you're not sharing with anybody. There are things that you may say or do that you're not openly sharing with everybody. So there's a public us, and then there's a seriously private us. All of us have that. You can't. Ain't nobody in here telling me that's everybody knows everything about them. It'll be a bold-faced lie. Okay, lie. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Each of us have at least two of us in all of us. It's that person you show people, and that person you really don't want anybody to see.
I don't know
Some
about
got
that,
more
Mike.
than that.
I see your point, but I don't think that's true for everybody. But I see what you're saying.
You think anybody out here has told you everything about him? Cam, you think anybody out here has spit the whole 100 yards out? Come on, man. Come on.
I gotta agree with
Let's
Mike
be
on
real.
that. I
He
mean,
said spit the whole 100
yeah, that's
yards.
crazy. You know what? I'm gonna agree with you on this segment that everybody probably doesn't know everything, but you do have people that you care about that may know everything about you. Not necessarily the world, but like if you got a brother or a best friend or a sister.
That's what I meant, Killa.
Okay. Well, but two things could be right.
Yeah, I didn't want to line stop. That was perfect.
That I do agree with
Right.
as well. Okay, so we've got some breaking news. So Michigan fired their head coach Sherrone Moore for an inappropriate relationship with a staff member.
Wow.
He previously served a 2-game suspension for his part in Connor Stalions' sign-stealing scandal. 3 hours after his firing, he was actually detained by police. Sources also said prominent Michigan donors cooled on contributing to the program after hearing of the allegations. Moore also had a buyout of around $14 million, but because he was fired for cause, Michigan may be off the hook for nearly all of it. So there's a lot to unpack here. A lot is still unfolding, and there's a lot of rumors, there's truth, there's not the truth, but it's a lot. So Mike, what was your initial reaction to this news?
That was a hell of a segue. We're talking about hiding things from people, and you go right to major hiding story. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? That was, yeah. You think he had at least two people in him? You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah. Right. Real deal. That's what I'm saying. Real deal. And listen, it's just crazy. Now, this has gone from a story of and the coach who really, backed up and was right there with Coach Harbaugh. Coach Harbaugh put in the contract that he gets the next head coaching job after he left, and then to see this, it's sad to see another brother fall like this. You know what I'm saying? And going from the position that he had as the head coach of Michigan, and then all of this come out. Now, yeah, I can't even go down that direction that my mind just thought about. But the reality is, it's for me. It's sad to see it. It's just sad to see it. So I don't know. And I know that $12 million. Please, that $12 million.
That's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's gone.
Mike,
That's
I
gone.
was
That's gone.
basically
And
saying
because-
that when you think of this situation, right, and you say, well, he had to have at least two people in him. Somebody knew about it because not only did he get fired, I mean, two people knew about it, and then he got arrested. So three people knew about it. He wasn't low about whatever he did, but I think it's kind of crazy that when you think of like black head
But
coaches,
how did it get out? Do we know enough about how that information got out? Do we know somebody said something? Did him and the girl get in an argument? Did she get mad about something? Did he
Yes.
promise she was going to leave? What? There's a lot in that. That's why because we just got the story and stuff is still coming in, and I don't know if you can say it's alleged, just alleged that. So how did he get out? Did somebody in Michigan not like him and then say, "Oh, we're gonna flip this way and then get out of our money"? You see, I don't. So we don't know all of that.
yeah, I'm saying, however it was known or alleged or the allegation or accusation, that somebody besides him knew of the situation that they were able to use it in their advantage. I definitely believe like being a person of this magnitude, if it comes down to this type of coach that came from Jim Harbaugh, that he knew of this man's integrity, he knew of his character. He wouldn't have just passed the team to anybody. I would love to believe that, but it just seemed like it's been a horrible year for black head coaches, just period. When you look at what's going on in the NBA, you got NBA coaches, black head coach under federal investigation, being arrested. This is just it seemed like a really bad year for black head coaches.
What they lock him up for?
That they didn't.
See, this is the
say.
shit. All right,
Yeah.
they're right there off the top. Exactly.
Assault.
Exactly. Who did he assault?
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's supposed to. I think they were saying he went to the house of the girl. The girl.
What you think, Mike?
Something
You don't
was
know.
happening.
Alleged. That's why.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's what they were saying. Alleged.
Yeah.
I heard people. They were
Staff
talking
member.
about it. So that's what they were alleging, that somebody that he went to the house is how he got arrested, and somebody there called the police, and
I hate this.
that's why
I hate
I
when
was
niggas
saying.
say these stories.
Yeah,
Not you,
that's
Mike.
why I was saying.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah,
but
I know
you
what
didn't
you're
say
saying.
too much because niggas don't be knowing the story and just be ready to throw niggas under the bus.
Right.
Secondly, what's inappropriate relationship with a staff member? It wasn't a student, it was a staff member. What's inappropriate? This is the same shit that my nigga I got kicked out of Boston about. Coach Houston. Now, let's flip the story. Who's the staff member? Nobody knows. This is like this. What I'm saying. Like this, like media be fucked up. They put a report out, and I'm not saying if he did something wrong and need to be arrested, let's put that out there. Then they did the right thing, but we don't have the proper information. We sit there and say a sign stealing scandal. Okay, I don't even like that because Bill Belichick built championships off every gate you can imagine. Deflate gates, stealing gate. Listen, man, if you get an advantage and get the signs taken, it's really no proof of that. That nigga was on the sidelines. I remember that whole shit with the sign stealing shit. I can't even blame that on him. That's first and foremost. If it is him, okay, I apologize. I'm just telling you from the knowledge that I know. Maybe I'm not fully knowledgeable about what was his part in the sign stealing scandal. Secondly, they say inappropriate relationship with a staff member. What does that mean? What does that mean? What's inappropriate? They went to dinner when they shouldn't have went to dinner? Was it somebody's wife? Because if it's a staff...
No, pause.
Huh?
It's him. He's supposed to be married, Cam. He's
Right.
married.
Yeah.
And right, he's married, and he's and he's having a relationship with a staff member, and then from what I understood in it, he put her on, like in charge of some area. I don't want to make.
I can
a joke
fill in the
about it,
blanks,
but
and
like
I'm
Bill
just
Belichick.
I can fill in your blanks really quick because I'm just gonna leave alleged because a lot of it it's like
Right.
sharing certain things because you don't know it's true, you don't know what it is. But I mean, her title that I'm seeing here says she was administrative specialist, and so she started with the $58,000 salary and it up to $90,000, and then of course the coach is married. I don't know her relationship. Again, this is all alleged, but this is some of the information that I have here.
Yeah.
What's the title?
Administrative specialist in the athletics department.
That's the same title Monica Lewinsky had. What's the problem? Niggas ain't impeached the president. Yo, niggas gotta chill, yo. I'm just saying, that's just me. Monica Lewinsky sound like the same situation. And she ain't get impeached. They ain't impeached the president. Look, I'm trying to make a little light of it, but niggas keep getting in trouble and the females don't get in trouble. Not saying that she should be in trouble, but that's just how that should be. I don't really want to comment no further because be like, Kim, you're rude, you're insensitive, you're a dickhead, you don't know what's going on. I need all the facts before I throw the nigga under the bus. Now, like I said, for him to be arrested, obviously they know something that I don't. And obviously whatever's in his contract, that he breached his contract and shouldn't be having affairs or just period, marital affairs, period. That's what happens when you get married and shit turn public. It's like the nigga, what they call that nigga? They caught that nigga on the Jumbotron kissing his secretary and all that shit 3-4 months ago. We seen that shit, Stat?
Yeah, that was crazy. At the concert.
Yeah,
The-
what they call it now, the Kiss concert? What was it?
well, it was, I think it was Coldplay.
Coldplay, that's
Yeah.
what it's called, the Coldplay.
Right.
Yeah, yo.
It's a cold ass play.
That was a
Put the
cold
OGB
ass
like
play,
that.
man. I'm gonna move on if I say the wrong thing. 'Cause
Right.
I'm gonna move on if I say the wrong thing, man. But I need more facts. But like I said, anything that happened that I don't know about that is deserved, then it's deserved. But I just don't have enough information to make any more comments.
Valid. So,
Cam, you
oh,
saw
go
how I was. You saw Cam. How I was trying to Sammy Davis Jr. that thing. I was tap dancing my ass off.
Yeah, Mike,
Trying
Mike,
to tap around.
Mike, let me tell
Yeah.
you something. You just be quiet on it. All right, you don't. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you just be quiet, Mike. Don't let us handle it, Mike. You don't need no more out of you about this situation.
I'm like the judge. I recluse myself.
Yeah, Mike, we just gonna mute
myself.
you on this topic right here. All right, we keep you quiet. We move on to the next topic, Mike.
yeah.
Right.
As we get more information, we will definitely talk about it as the story develops. But I do just have a question for all of y'all because, like Cam said, we've seen a lot of incidents throughout the year where things have happened. And he brought up the Coldplay concert. He also brought up Ime Udoka. Like, it's just been constant situations. And I'm just curious, like, in you guys' mindset and thoughts, like, and even if it's not specific to you or maybe just somebody that you've known, but has a woman ever caused you guys to miss out on like a deal or a large amount of money or even just an opportunity? Like, how do you
Mike
think
that nigga?
that's what I'm saying, not him specifically, but how do you think?
Yo, Mike, we just gonna mute Mike on this shit right here, man. Sty, what you trying to set
No,
my
it doesn't have
trying
to
to
be.
set my nigga
No,
up?
because it doesn't have to be work. It doesn't even have to be work related.
What
I
are you
mean,
talking
just in
about?
general.
Yo,
Yo, Mike,
No,
yeah,
I'm
man.
not
Sty, that
saying-
sound like a setup,
No,
man.
I'm not saying work related, but even just like when you were early on in your career, even just like spending money, like did you ever
Mike,
you know what?
Mike, you're gonna skip you on this question. You can ask me and make this.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. But I'm just curious, like, even just like early on in your career, has there ever been a situation where you're just like, okay, like, I'm smarter than this, or like, this person has tried to get me out of this type of money, that type of situation from a woman?
I don't know if we're finessable. I think there's a generation that is finessable. I don't know unless it's something I don't know about with Killa, but I know I'm unfinessable.
You know what, man? Listen, let me tell you something real quick, and this is how I went. Like Mace says it's not a lot, but he said it a few times during the time we were doing the show. Like, we grew up on Snoop Dogg and Too Short, and Tim Dog, and when I met and I'm much softer pause now when it comes to females. You know what I'm saying? I'm way cooler. I like to be around females and talk and chill and all the time. But it was a time I didn't really, outside of having sex, I didn't really want to hang out with females. And now I do. I really do. But I remember when Mace was transitioning. So I used to work transitioning into a superstar. And he started being nice to females, and I couldn't understand it. I'm like, yo.
What are you doing?
Yeah, like, yo, why you talking nice to these bitches? That was my attitude. And I'm sorry. That was just my attitude. I said, Cam, it's just another way to go about it. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. I was like, I'm going to leave this nigga by himself and Mr. Child. I'm going back uptown. I don't like all the keying and all that with these joints. You have fun, nigga. I know you on the 112 remix and all that, but I ain't with all this.
Yeah, this is too fast.
More of the stories, I think I like Mace's analogy. Like, yeah, I've never been in a situation to where a female tricked me out my spot. If I want to do something for a female, it's because I want to do it. But have I ever been like, damn, she caught me? Nah. Now maybe not finesse, robbed when like nigga may took a little nap and bitch left the crib with some bread or something like that. But not no random bitch neither. Not no bitch that I just met at the hotel that night. a bitch who address I knew that I could go knock on the door later on, like, why you playing with me? But nah, I can't remember any time like that to where somebody fucked that money up. No.
And that's kind of where I was trying to go with that. That was not to like be like, have you ever been in this situation? Because I just feel like it constantly keeps happening. I'm just like, the focus, like I always say, especially just being like starting off in your careers or even just getting to the point where you make more money, it's just like not allowing people
I'll say this,
to mess that up for
we
you.
went to school with somebody who could have been really, really great in basketball, and I wouldn't say they got finessed, but something happened to where they kind of messed up their career.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
And I think most of the time this happens because people lead with their pockets. You know, like you got two different kind of players. You got players that's trying to get it because they believe they're worth it, and then you got people that get it because they got the money now. Those two different guys.
Good points. Okay, so moving on.
But I will make this.
Go ahead,
Whoa.
Oh, you got it.
Now, I have to say this. And it's just to add some information to y'all conversation. It's not just about the person. It's also about the governing body that the person's working with. Now, in my case, it's the NFL. In his case, it's college football. You know, in Mayodoka's case, it's the NBA. These governing body, these people that you are working with are going to be the people that come down on you. And the girls know just the accusation is going to get you in trouble. Or everyone knows just the accusation is going to get you in trouble. So people try to avoid getting out the accusation, even when it's true, false, or whatever. Now, in your game, rapping and all of this, noise get out about you guys, since you don't have that governing body like a whole team and all of that. It kind of helps you guys because you're looking for ear gates, you're looking for eye gates, you're looking for publicity to put your music out. And then when that stuff happens to you guys, more people download and tune in and turn in. You can possibly make money from it when it is going to cost people that have that governing body over them money, because the governing body doesn't care about the truth. It's just the accusation. I won't say anything else after that.
Yeah, I think, Mike, what you're saying is 100% right. I think also this just lets us know we're way overdue from having a rule or a law that just put women in jail if they're lying. I think we're overdue for that rule.
So, Mike, what you saying is, like, this dude from Michigan or Ime or even yourself, y'all should do an album?
Hey, that's a good way to get out of this whole conversation. Let's exit stage right.
So basically, the nigga from Michigan mad because I got a side bitch. That's what you telling me? They should just come out and come with the album and sell records.
Yeah, boy, it will sell like hotcakes, because we always want to hear a brother not just sing a song, words you read on a paper, sing something you experience. Oh, we gonna hear him in this song. Rap what you experience, rap your truth. It will be his truth. So that's what they call connectivity.
Connectivity. Always got a new word for us, Mike. Okay, moving along. We got to discuss Phillip Rivers. He's been embracing his NFL comeback. He said, I wasn't hanging on to any hope of playing again. I kind of thought that ship had sailed. He also said he had happened to be watching the Colts game at the moment Daniel Jones fell to the turf, and he admitted that it crossed his mind that he might eventually receive a call from the coach. So there's a lot of discussion and anticipation ahead of this game with Phillip Rivers. Mike, do you think he can save the Colts?
Save is a strong word, a real strong word, because the Colts had something with Daniel Jones. It was the combination of what he did. It wasn't just his arm. It was also his ability to run. And of course, so Rivers don't have that. But now Phillip Rivers is a little bit better than Daniel Jones when you're talking about assessing the game. I don't know how his arm is right now because he's been home with his football team, his 11 kids and his wife. You know what I mean? That football team over there. And now I don't even throwing with his kids. So we'll see all of that here coming out. But Phillip Rivers will be helpful in the passing game if his arm is anywhere near it is, or in the situation like what Peyton Manning was with the Denver Broncos the last year. Peyton didn't throw a whole lot, but he put him in the right situations and the right plays, and they ultimately end up winning games. I think it affects Indy too much because he doesn't have the ability to run to call it a saving, but he will help.
Yeah, I think he plays pretty decent when he get there. I think he has to. And I think because he'll have a lot of freedom, it's not like he can mess up. They don't have a backup for him. And when you can play and you ain't got to worry about messing up, I think most players who have that ability can do well in that type of system. I'm just happy you get to go back and wear number 17 again.
I think it's stupid. Where's Andrew Luck at? I'd rather get Peyton Manning back. At least Peyton Manning's a real Indianapolis Colt. This nigga ain't even no real Colt. Niggas is Chargers and all that. Played with the Colts 1 year. He ain't no real, like, oh, he's been what? Nigga, they down. Nigga was Chargers. I'd rather get Peyton Manning. That's just my personal opinion. But, hey, if they like it, I love it. Can't wait to see what happens. That nigga's a hit away from being in intensive care. Telling you that right now. But what is on his side is that you can't hit the quarterback like you used to be able to hit the quarterback. I remember nigga Kurt Warner got hit, and he might have retired the next quarter after he got hit. And he wasn't even 44 years old. It's one thing when you think about somebody like Tom Brady who retired at 45 years old, he was constantly playing. You know, when you think about Joe Flacco getting called off the couch, he was playing the year before that. Phillip Rivers haven't played in 4 years. Now, we looking for a miracle or waiting to see something special happen? If it does, it does. I don't think it will. I don't know what he's been doing in his off time. I don't know if he's been practicing, throwing balls, paws, or whatever, but it has to be very, very desperate for the Indianapolis Colts to call up Phillip Rivers. I would have liked Peyton Manning better. I don't know if, like you said, Mike, Peyton Manning looked terrible with the Broncos this last year, but at least he's an official Colt. Fuck is Andrew Luck? Andrew Luck coaching a college team or some shit. I seen a nigga other day on the sideline. At least he's a real Colt. Niggas acting like Phillip Rivers some Colt. He nuts. That nigga was a Charger his whole career.
Real Colt.
He's not a real Indianapolis Colt. He played them niggas 1 year, man. That nigga's really down with them. And not even a Los Angeles Charger. He's San Diego Charger nigga, man. I don't like it.
Why they ain't just get Russell Wilson? I don't know.
Mike, your thoughts on that?
That means this is clearly Russell Wilson's final opportunity. That the Giants was his final opportunity. There's no way. But the problem really is for Phillip Rivers is his first game back happens to be against a hell of a defense. You know, getting ready to play Seattle. So you talking about somebody knows how to get to the quarterback and cause problems. That's why. And you talk about you guys talk about Tom Brady. Tom Brady was able to play till he was 45 because he's a pre-snap quarterback. That means he's already discerning and deciphering the defense. Snap, boom, snap, boom, snap, boom. I'm not letting you guys get to me. Phillip Rivers is not necessarily a pre-snap quarterback. He's going to snap and then look around and you may not get to look around too long with this team that's coming, with Seattle coming at you like that. So, yeah, this will be interesting. This will be interesting to watch this first game. It'll be very, very interesting because it's not against an easy defense, and we'll see. If he plays shoulders up, like I'm talking about, he'll be fine. But if he tries to play this game shoulders down, where he's waiting to see things and he's going, I would be concerned for his health. But if he get Tom Brady this game, get the ball out of his hand, and they play a short passing game, wear down that defensive line before at least the third quarter, before you try to look around or go up the football field, then maybe he'll be okay because he's winning with his brain.
If they just needed a bigger quarterback with an arm, they could have just hired Cam Newton. Cam Newton is probably 10 years younger and probably more connected to the game.
I like that.
That's a great take, and I'm sure he probably feels the same way.
Yeah, like how do you just skip people in their 30s and go to niggas almost 50 is crazy. But, you know, it is Indiana, though. You also got to think about who work in that climate. But Cam Newton could have done that job.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just told you why they skipped them niggas in the 30s. Because they wanted a smart dude to understand the game, been around the game for a while to try to play with his mind. They got an Anthony Richardson over there. They're saying we don't need no one kind of nigga. You know, we got enough for them. That's why we winning. Got Daniel Jones. You asked, I have to answer. Just answering the question.
Well, did you just say Cam Newton is
Not
smart?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cam can play. Cam can play, but Cam is also a post-snap quarterback. That's because he wins with his legs sometimes. He wants to look and see, look around, then throw the ball or roll out and go running. Like Daniel Jones would do.
Okay.
So then why wouldn't he be a good fit, Mike? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you try to clean it up, Mike.
Yeah, he tried to say he was not smart, and Cam Newton is
No. Listen, I'm not saying Cam's not smart. I told you, you go look at the way Cam Newton played football. I told you how they play football. That's all I was talking about. Now, pre-snap or post-snap. And Tom had to do it because he doesn't have that physical ability. Cam Newton, they never had to do it. So it's not anything against them. They were able. They don't see what they want right now. They're going
Mike,
and running.
you're dizzy, Mike.
That's just the real.
Mike, if he plays the same way as Daniel Jones, then this will be a perfect fit for the team.
Mason, let me just get it real quick.
No,
Mace said Cam Newton, and you said no, they want a smart quarterback. That's the exact answer, Mike.
Yeah, and we're just trying to clear it up, Mike. Can't call Cam not smart.
No. I didn't call Cam not smart.
That's what you
said,
said,
guys
Mike.
Can't twist me with that. No, that's all.
You said they didn't pick him because they wanted a smart quarterback.
It's on tape,
Dude,
Mike.
I told you they wanted a pre-snap. let's rewind the tape.
You said that he'll run with his legs, but then you come back and say Daniel Jones is the same kind of quarterback.
When we go to break, we're rewinding the tape.
You guys go ahead.
That is what you
Yeah,
said.
rewind it, dude, because I'm telling you what I told you.
Mike, you need your poncho.
Hey, yo, Stat, did he say that?
That is what you said. That's why we all paused. We were like,
Okay,
What?
You got it right
what
now?
I'm talking about, what did I explain before this? I said there's a shoulders up quarterback and a shoulders down quarterback. The quarterback that plays shoulders up, that doesn't have the ability to run around and move around like Cam do. And that's what he is. That's what your boy is. That's what Tom Brady is. I talk this all the time. So y'all just trying to twist it up and tie it up so we get some more clicks. I'm giving you the gospel so you can do what you want with it.
Yo, Mike, when we go to break, we're going to get the tape. It's all good.
Shoulders. I started this with a shoulders up, shoulders down quarterback.
Oh my!
That's what.
Shoulders
we'll
up, shoulders down.
What we say? We'll get in and see.
yeah, we'll have to look at the tape.
Yeah.
The panel might not be buying it.
Reset.
Okay. So we're going to get into our underdog picks of the day. On Sunday, the Colts will play the Seahawks. Underdog has Phillip Rivers at 165.5 passing yards. Mace, higher or lower?
Oh man, this is an interesting one. Who they playing?
They're playing the Seahawks.
Nah. I'm gonna go lower. I don't think they let Phillip Rivers come out here on his first game. They better not. Seattle, you better not let him get 160. I'm going lower.
I'm going to agree with Mace. I'm going to go lower. Seattle's defense is really good. But not one thing I will say about Phillip Rivers, God bless the dead, me and Hud used to watch him when he was younger. And we was like, this nigga's like a spoiled brat. Like, he's real feisty. He's he's one of them feisty quarterbacks, talk shit and he like argue with fans and all that. So I could see him trying to go out there and get some numbers in the beginning, but I don't think he will. But that nigga talks shit, and he wants to win. You know, he kind of has that thing, Mike, that we were saying that you said that, and I think even more that
Baker.
Yeah, exactly. Baker
And
Mayfield.
Baker had
Yeah, I think he got that
Exactly.
times 3.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I forgot about that too, Cam, because
yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
You know what? I totally forgot about that's how he played. And get this, he's been home
Right.
for 4 years. And you okay, as the quarterback, you top dog in every organization. So everybody is up under you. Then you retire and you go home. When I retired, I remember Bishop telling me, work your way back into the house now. That means the house been working well without you for 20 years. Don't try to come back to be the boss. So can you imagine? He got 11 kids and a wife. So he way down at the bottom. He been getting beat up on. He can't wait to get on that football field and try to get feisty and get like you would. That's why I forgot how he plays like that. And that may help. That may help the coach right there. Because Daniel Jones ain't have that in him. You know, that make you want to go fight like that. Like knuckle fight, like
Yeah.
Negro knuckle fight, that kind of fight.
Yeah,
So yeah, that may help a
he
lot.
talks like that.
Okay, Jonathan
Yeah.
Taylor's at half a rushing and receiving touchdown. Do you have him higher or lower?
They're
Cam?
trying to play me with that half a touch. Yes, higher.
Yeah, higher. Niggas is trying it.
Sam Darnold is at 231 and a half passing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Mace?
I'm going higher. I think he's on a road to get this done and to make and put them in a better position even than they already are. So I'm gonna go higher.
I'm going to go high as well.
Okay. Make sure y'all download the Underdog app and you can make your picks too. We're going to go to break. When we return, we will discuss injuries in the NFL and NBA. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. So, given all the injuries we've seen in the NFL and NBA, because there's been a lot of them specifically this season as well, do you think luck, Mike, especially in regards to health, overshadows coaching and strategy?
I don't know if you could ever say luck overshadows coaching and strategy, you know, but being healthy plays an important role anytime in any sport, in anything you're doing, especially a professional sport. So, yeah, but you can have the healthiest talent in the world. They be healthy the whole season. If it ain't coached right and pulling up the right plays, you're still going to have some issues. So yeah, it's important to stay healthy, but you can't ever say it overshadows being prepared and having a plan of attack when you are playing and healthy.
Yeah, that was a good point. When it comes to team, I also would add to what Mike is saying, and I think being a part of being a great coach is doing things to keep your players healthy, like knowing when to take people out, when to switch things up, when to give people rest, when to give them a day off. Just all of these things. I think that goes into it. So I don't think you can supersede good health with coaching and playmaking and stuff like that. But I think when you have both of them together, that some people call it luck, but it's just everything happening at the same time.
I think that you have to, it's part of scouting and drafting and putting the right people in with the right organization. It's not, look, I'm almost 50 years old. I've never seen an injury-free season ever. Somebody's going to get hurt on every team, on every sport. Whether it's 1 week, whether it's 4 months, whether it's 2 games, and now with the NBA, they doing load management. You have to have backup players that's decent. And as we can see, that's just not happening. You sit there and we start off the season with Russell Wilson, and they don't like him. And then we get to Jackson Dart, and they like him, but is he really producing? Then it gets to the point where he's hurt, and they can go to Jameis Winston. Then they just Jameis Winston. Look, it's hard to find good backup players in any position. So that's just goes down to scouting. Recruiting, off-season acquisitions, etc. We're looking at Phillip Rivers coming off the bench, not the bench, off the couch after 4 years. This is, bro, it's hard, man. Pause. If you're a scout or a head coach or anybody in that position, the GM, bringing people in to facilitate when your superstars get hurt. But I will say this to answer the question stat completely. When you said, is it luck having a good, whatever you said.
Yeah, like coaching and strategy.
Look, a lot of people don't know this. Luck is the residue of design. So you have the best design in the world, but sometimes you're going to need a little luck. Don't forget I told you that. Luck is definitely the residue of design.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, that is great. Okay, so also when we discussed Phillip Rivers and even when we talked about Daniel Jones playing through a broken fibula, and we've just seen a lot of players also play while they're clearly injured. How much responsibility, Mike, do you think coaches should have when players suffer strong injuries? Do you view it as part of the job, or do you see it as kind of like carelessness?
What do you mean? Like, and what Mace was talking about, all of the trying to make sure that the guys get the proper rest or pull back at certain times, things like that. Yeah, coaches have to. It's a fine line when you're listening to the training staff, but now they have so much information and technology, tells you exactly how much you put in, how much you've exerted yourself. Some people are different. Like I wanted to run every route, even when coaches like Mike take a break, but it was part of my mentality. If I felt like I didn't get my work in, I would feel like that'll affect me on Sunday, So even when he told me to take a break, I wasn't going to hear it. When I ran a route, they say, hey, we'll get somebody to give you a rep. I said, no, if Troy throw, I go. I run right back down the middle of the practice field. They can't run another play if I'm in the way. You see what I'm saying? So some coaches are trying that now in the NFL. But Daniel Jones was an Achilles rupture. That's hard to try to in any way mitigate a ligament. You can try to help muscles recover and everything, and but trying to mitigate a ligament popping or something like that, that's different. Your muscles get too tired or you're overworked, then you put more strain on your Achilles and stuff like that. But it's a hard thing to try to pinpoint and say we could stop this.
What's the question against that?
Yeah, basically, how much responsibility do you think goes on the coaches when they basically also allow players to play when they're injured at a certain extent?
I think a little opposite of what Mike is saying. When players are hurt, you gotta sit them down. Like there's people that we've seen this in the National Football League. I remember Killa was talking about what's his name, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, where his arm was messed up, and they put him back out there. That is clearly the coach's decision. That has nothing to do with tiredness of the arm, like Mike is talking about. And he made great points about when there's fatigue in the muscles and different things like that. But we all know, like he said, if one part is a deficiency, then the other part is overworking. But we're talking about you putting a player in there already knowing he's injured. We got 3 quarterbacks that came back this season that was previously hurt. And 2 of them look like they might have gotten re-injured. I mean, I'm not sure they're ready to say it yet, but we see a decline there with one of the quarterbacks, and we say he's not 100%. I think he potentially could have gotten re-injured, and they're just not ready to say it yet. But this is something that is all on the coach. If a player wants to play and the coach is saying you're not gonna play, he's not gonna play. So you gotta put the onus with the coach on this.
Both of y'all have some really good takes. For me, it's a split decision, and when I say that, it depends on who the player is. If it's Jaden Daniels, no, you're not playing. We're not going anywhere anyway with the Commanders. If it's Lamar Jackson, we got a chance. Well, we might still could win. The division's not that good. Even though, me personally, I wouldn't put Lamar Jackson in because he's 28 years old. A lot of his career thus far has been based upon his legs. We know he's great in the pocket, and he gets a lot of respect in the pocket as of late because of what he could potentially do when he scrambles or goes for yards. And we haven't been seeing that, to Mace's point. And I just think it depends on the cachet that you have or what you've done in the past. We're in an era to where they have a lot of science, a lot of health, and they're saying, look, you shouldn't play this many games, and you're putting pressure on this foot, and your right arm is going to, look, I seen Isaiah Thomas score 25 points on one foot against the Lakers. I seen it with my own eyes, literally, not even figuratively. Imagine he tell the nigga that he can't play. The nigga just had 10 points on one foot. Get the fuck out there, hop up and down, and get us 15 more points. What are you going to do? Would you tell Isaiah you can't play? Would you tell Michael Jordan, yo, you got the flu, bro. You can't play. You got the flu. Would you tell him that if you're Phil Jackson? No.
That's a good point.
So that's why I'm saying I'm torn on the decision. Now, because today it seems like it's cool to do like, nah, you got to take care of him, this, that, and third. You don't get the flu game from Michael Jordan if you do that. You don't get the one leg 25 points from Isaiah Thomas. You don't get these type of games if you're the coach and don't let him play. So I'm torn on the answer between both of you guys.
Those are both really, really, really good.
And just for procedural, just for procedures and understand how it works, the coach knows nothing about all of this. The coach is just going to get advice or get what the training staff says. And the training staff is who's rehabbing the player, training the player, getting the player back into playing form, even when he is hurt. And also, guys, I want to add this part. I'm going to tell you one of the hardest things in the world to do as an athlete. You guys, at this level especially, it is not played when your guys are out there. Even Jaden Daniels said, I want to be out there with my guys. You hear people, but it's the worst feeling in the world personally because you want to play, but you feel like you're letting everybody down. So you rush in to get back out there because of that, and you feel that. So it's hard to tell guys.
Listen,
not to go.
That's why I said I'm torn because, look, even though I went back 30 years and we're talking about stuff today, think about this. Just last year, right, Mike Murder, is that you sit there and watch Halliburton make miracle after miracle, series after series, all the way to Game 7 of the championship, and then he finally
Caught up with him.
Yeah.
To Game 7 to where now he's missing a whole season. But that nigga, he made history last year. It was fun to watch. This nigga had a buzzer beater every series, but was those things worth it not winning the championship, though, to say, damn, I missed the whole season? Because, look, I may be the only nigga who remembered that. Today, I mean, I know people remember. I'm exaggerating, of course, but it depends on what you like. I'm a different type of sandwich. I like to see shit like that, man.
Great points. Okay.
Not people get hurt. See greatness.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Y'all are wilding today, but I'm gonna just go on.
The words or the
Say
concept?
what you said.
Different kind of sandwiches. Wow, Killa.
What I'm gonna do? Shout out to my nigga Billy D. Different type of shit. That's what that's just like. Different type of sandwich, nigga. You ain't been uptown a minute, Murder. In Jacksonville
I
and
just saw the
everything.
Asian guy taking a picture of you when you said just different kind of
You
sandwiches.
say you ain't been uptown, man.
Yeah.
I know. I know you missed some new slang and all that. Shout out to my nigga Billy D, man.
Okay, so let's preview a couple games real quick. So Patriots are going to be playing the Bills. Mike, who do you think wins this game?
I'm surprised when you look at this, and the Bills are actually favored, I think, in this game to go and win. It's hard for me now when I know how great of a job that Mike Vrabel does getting his team ready. The Patriots already went to Buffalo and beat them, and now you got to bring this thing to New England. Boy, that's going to be a game. and I don't care. Superman is going to have to be super the whole while and smart the whole while because Mike Vrabel is going to do some things on that defense that causes problems. And it's hard for me nobody in this league right now is more prepared for a game and on game day than what Mike Vrabel have the New England Patriots. So I'm leaning towards the Patriots winning that game, and it's going to take a super super crazy game from Josh if he has any chance to win that game.
Yeah, Mike, I think you're dancing around it. Really, you took a long route to get there. The Patriots are gonna win, Mike. We know this. I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion. I love Buffalo. I love all of the rappers out there, but I can't side with them on this. I'm sorry, Griselda. It's gonna be the Patriots. The Patriots are gonna win this game. And Drake May, he's playing too well and he's too young. His confidence is too high. They got all the signs pointing towards a victory. I'm going with the Patriots.
Mike, I see why you was dancing. That dancing was definitely called for because I don't know. And if I got to pick, I'm going with the Bills. Because the reason I'm going to go with the Bills, and not saying that the Patriots, shouldn't win this game or especially being at home, but I think the Bills are favored because they know the desperation. I don't even know if you catch the Patriots in the division, but this pushes you further away from a wild card spot if you lose this game, being what's going on with all the other teams. This is a tough one, man, because one thing I will say about this is that you have to, in the games that we seen Buffalo lose this year, they lost them games. It was pretty bad. But the games that they've won, they had won games by reasonable margins, and then they had games like they had last week against the Bengals, where you have to play 60 minutes of football against Buffalo. You can have a 14-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and it may not be safe playing against Buffalo. I wouldn't be shocked if the Patriots win, but if I have to make a pick, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills because of the desperation and because they need to get up in the playoffs definitely in AFC. Not saying that they won't, but this game matters.
Okay.
And that's the key, Cam, too. Desperation, it really is, because that's how Buffalo has to play. And I thought about what you said, Cam, because they were playing Cincinnati. Cincinnati jumped out doing great, had them down. But Cincinnati don't stay on top, pause, and Cincinnati don't choke you out. You see what I mean? But New England, that's why I was talking earlier how well coached they are, how assignment based they are. If they get up on you, they're not going to make those mistakes that Cincinnati made over and over again down the line to give Buffalo a chance. That's why I was saying he has to play a super game and be smart and don't make any mistakes because New England will capitalize on it.
And just real quick, Mike, to your point about last game against the Bengals. Now, see, I totally agree with you when you're saying that Cincinnati doesn't keep their opponent down and choke them out, so to speak. Because, we sat there and see them have 80 points in 2 weeks and still lose a few weeks ago. But what I will say is this, and it doesn't just have to be Josh Allen, because as much as we got him on the Mount Rushmore quarterbacks right now, that game was lost because of Joe Burrow. I'm not going to blame the Cincinnati defense for them particularly losing that game. They stayed up 10 points the majority of the game until Joe Burrow threw back-to-back interceptions, first 2 interceptions all season. So I'm not going to put that on the Bengals. I know that really isn't the focus, but I don't want to blame the Bengals defense like we've been doing week after week for them losing that particular game. That was purely on Joe Burrow, and I'm Joe Burrow's biggest supporter.
But that's what I said, Kim. I said they're not going to make those mistakes down the line, down towards the end of the game. I'm talking about those interceptions, none of that. They're not going to do it. Drake May is not going to do it. That's what gave them the chance to come back.
And the reason I said that, Mike, and you could say I'm wrong or whatever, but I love Drake May, but he got a little bit of time to catch up to Joe Burrow. He got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Man. You got a little bit of time, baby. I love what he's doing. I love the route he's on.
No doubt.
But he ain't Joe Burrow yet. Joe Burrow make the mistakes. I'm not saying Drake May will, but I'm just saying we not gonna do that just yet. Let's chill out. Stop putting.
And I'm not making him Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow, that bad boy Joe Burrow, has leeway that young Drake does not have. So Drake May is going to play within the framework of what Vrabel gives him. Joe Burrow is what you just talked about. He's the man. He's going to take opportunities to make those plays and take risk. And usually those risks work out. But last week it did not. And the mistakes cost them. All I'm saying is Drake May isn't going to make those mistakes.
Yeah, I think this is really a show and tell day for Stephon Diggs. That's what I really think about.
Okay.
Yeah, he's hyped.
Last preview before we wrap. So Broncos versus Packers. Mike, who wins this?
Boy, I love this game for 2 reasons. The Broncos defense is one of the best defenses in the NFL. And Christian Watson's now back with Green Bay Packers makes them a whole different team. His speed up the field and playmaking ability. Now, Jordan Love looks like, okay, we're ready to take this thing to another level. Now, they got back Matthew Golden last week. Now, you start putting both of those guys on the field with speed like that. It's a scary game. It's a scary game. And I lean towards, where's that game at? Where is that game? The game's played in Denver. Oh.
It's in Denver.
That game's in Denver. If it was in Green Bay, I think I would lean towards Green Bay. Denver, I have to go Denver because it's tough to play at Mile High.
I'm going with the Broncos. I like Green Bay, and I think that they look good last week, but that's a team. Look, when we first started the season, first few weeks, we like, damn, Green Bay could win the NFC. Yo, they could go to the Super Bowl. And they had some slip-ups during the season to where Jordan Love didn't look good some games. Some games he looks all-world. Some games he looks mediocre, so on and so forth. Right. Mike made some great points that they got some key pieces back. But I'm not going against – and then the thing about it as well, I've seen other analysts say that it's just something about Bo Nix where he's all right, but he's not pulling the trigger. He's not that elite quarterback that we're all talking about. We sit there and talk about Drake May being in the MVP conversation possibly. And we don't talk about Bo Nix being in that conversation when he has the same record as Drake May. But the reason I'm going with the Broncos is because they're on a 10-game winning streak. Until further notice, I'm going to pick the Broncos unless they're playing somebody or they're going somewhere where it's really tough to play. Maybe Seattle. I'm not sure did they play Seattle already? I'm not sure, but if they do, it got to be somebody of that caliber for me to pick against them because whether Bo Nix is the elite quarterback that everybody's talking about, they have a recipe over there that's really good, and their defense is outstanding. I wouldn't usually go against the Patriots because they're on a 10-game winning streak. But I just think, like me and Mike said, Buffalo's really desperate, and their backs against the wall in this situation. But I'm going with the Broncos to win this game.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with the Broncos too, but if there ever was a time for Michael Parsons to show up, this is your former guy, Mike. If there's ever was a time for him to make a difference, this is the game where he gets to prove that the Cowboys didn't get the better of this trade. This is the time to do that.
Rage bait. Okay, well, we will see what happens.
Rage bait.
I feel like that was right. That's what that would be. But Mike was real calm about it, so shout out to you.
Mike ain't even playing to it. Mike,
I said that earlier.
Yeah, Mike, your therapy working.
Yeah, it's working. I think what made me feel I'm healed from the Michael Parsons, right? I watched him when they were playing the game the other day in Green Bay or somewhere. I said, boy, this nigga looks so cold right now. I know he's thinking, I shouldn't have left that warm stadium I had. It was looking so cold on that field. I was like, okay, because you had 8 or 9 games in perfect weather so you could chase the quarterback. Now you probably get what, 4 years? Because it's cold. What, October? It's almost get freezing in Green Bay. So yeah, that's why it helped me heal when I saw him looking that cold in the middle. I was okay.
I'm screaming, not the weather. Okay, y'all. Well, that is all the time that we have for today, Mike. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Appreciate you guys, man. You guys know I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys.
Love you as well, brother.
Yeah, love you, Mike. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.